Welcome to Sephora.
I'm looking for a perfume that's not too perfumey.
I got you.
Serum moisturizer or moisturizer serum.
Let's get into layering.
My concealer is making me look worse?
Sounds like the wrong shade. Let's get you matched.
There's only one store that really gets what you're going for. Get beauty from people who get beauty. Only at Sephora.
Hi, Let's get you a basket.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
What is going on, people? Ryan Leary, William Tincup here, and you are listening to The Barf. A look at the week that was so you can be prepared for the week that is. Mr. William, what is going on today?
You know, we've had some, a lot of rain. A lot of rain here in Texas. The lake, our lake house down in Belton, was down 12 and a half feet.
Your house went down 12 and a half feet?
No, the lake. The lake water.
Lake went down.
The lake went down because it's usually a constant level lake, but for Hurricane Harvey, for whatever reason, we let out the lake and it went down, right? And we went through a drought for a couple of years.
Yeah.
It is now above what it's normally supposed to be.
Nice.
So it looks gorgeous, but it's the rain has, everything's green, which usually, in May, everything is
brown.
Brown. But to look out, it's like all the trees are flourishing. The grass is really green. It's like, I don't know where this is coming from. Rain in Texas.
We get like a week. It's usually like the first cut on the grass.
Right.
Looks nice and flushing, flushing green. After that,
golf.
It looks like ass.
That's pretty much us too.
Not good. Not good.
During the summer, it's horrible. But
so on good news, good note,
okay.
The Phillies have the top record in the major leagues. Go Phils!
Yeah, it's too early. It's too early.
I probably won't be able to say that next week.
But the thing is, this is the Rangers for 70 years or whatever it has been.
Mm-hmm.
Always great up until the All-Star break, and then at the All-Star break, when they had open air stadiums. They'd get to the All-Star break and it'd be 118 on the field, and everyone would
they'd
crap
die.
out.
Yeah.
When they moved to a closed stadium or a retractable roof stadium,
a dome.
2 years into it, a dome. Well, it's a retractable roof, so is that still a dome? I guess so. 2 years after they did that, they won a World Series. Shocking, not shocking.
Yeah. Well, look, we're at this point last year. I think we were like 20 games back off the Braves because we won like 3 games. So when we can be 5 or 6 up,
it's not bad. No, keep up.
Good.
I'd rather be up. We just went through 5. It's a road series. We're 5-2 on a road series. Which again, if you can beat teams on the road, you have a pretty good chance of making the playoffs.
That's very true.
Yeah. All
right. Let's kick this thing off. I'm going to let you go first. I spun the dice. I rolled the dice. You can't spin. I guess you could technically spin dice.
Or throw dice. Yeah. All right. Let me pitch you this one here. Department of Labor, DOL, finds children employed illegally in dangerous jobs. Obtains almost $5 million, $4.8 million in wages, damages in the poultry industry. Workers in California. Investigation finds 14-year-old children using razor-sharp deboning knives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you want to look more at the story, dol.gov, and you just put in the deboning knives, I'm pretty sure you'll find it out. But for people that are that study employment law, or maybe they've forgotten a little bit about child labor law, in 1938, we passed the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, set the minimum wage for employment, 14 years old for non-agricultural jobs, restricted youth hours under the age of 16 they work, and prohibited the youth under the age of 18 from being employed in hazardous occupations. So why this kind of hit is 14-year-old. You say
What's
with a straight
wrong?
face.
Look, I'd rather them
14-year-olds using
debone. I'd rather them debone chicken than debone their friend. I mean, like,
No,
like,
that's fair. That's fair. I'm just not
yeah.
sure. Now, I think we both have. I have a 14-year-old. Yours is 13. Can you imagine them debone? Can you imagine?
She cooks spaghetti, and I worry. Let's just.
Man uses the
fucking-
microwave, and I worry.
Yeah,
I'm
she.
pretty sure one time he put tinfoil in there. I'm like,
Yeah, we've done
come on
the
now.
forks. Yeah, she's done forks.
Yeah.
She left it. I told her cook the pasta sauce, right? The gravy.
Yeah.
To put it on level 2, so electric
Right.
stove, and let it just sit for a little bit.
Just warm it up.
They eat dinner, all this stuff. We leave. I'm working. We left for a school concert last night. We come back. This is 5 hours later. It's
This is still on 2.
on a 2, and
Yeah.
there's like 4 tablespoons of sauce left in the thing. Jesus Christ! Like, this is why we can't have nice things, people.
This is it. Anyhow, 14-year-olds using deboning knives. Okay, no bueno. All right.
Not good. All right. I've got one here. So I'm sure you've realized in the space this week or the last week or so, there's been a lot of hires, a lot of big hires, leadership hires, executive hires, leadership hires, people being moved around, people going from company to company. But what's going on here? I'll read off a couple. There's more than this that are out there. But here's a couple that I picked out. WorkHuman, new CMO, new SVP of product management, a new VP of product engineering, and a VP of product management and recognition.
That's
solutions.
wholesale change right there. That's
what that is. Yeah,
5 executives. That's huge.
That's big. iSIMS, new CTO, a new chief product officer. Summer, we've spoken with Will, chief innovation officer. Alight, 2 leadership promotions that they pushed up.
Yep.
And then, so that I thought it's a lot in the last couple weeks, right?
My biggest miss on that is I've got one later on, but we'll get to. But Al Smith at iSIMS has been a kind of an industry stalwart, just a wonderful man, super smart, and big shoes to fill. So shout out to Al. I'm sure the new CTO and product officers, I'm sure they'll all do well. But good luck to him. I think he's retiring.
Sounds like a good place to be right about now.
Yeah.
So the one last piece, which is not related to our industry, but law firms are moving on what they refer to as deal makers. So these are heavy hitters in the M&A space. And there's been 3 or 4 in the last week or so that have been announced that are significant in that category, which got me to think, and I don't know, it's not going to matter now because it's not actually taken effect yet, but the non-complete clause, right? This is what they're referencing in all of these things, which is really interesting. The law firm one to me, so I'm curious to see how that pans out. Clearly, they know what they're doing.
Well, one of the M&A transactions that we're not going to talk about today, but I was looking at, it actually names the deal maker by name.
Yes.
Which was really a trip because it was Piper or something. I can't remember, but I was going to look him up, him. I was going to look him up just to see like what's the bid and where they work. But this was the first time I had seen that I really read into that they list this person. Yeah.
They're focusing on, and there's 3 of them out there that just made moves, and all 3 are like top tier, like top 1, 2, and 3 in the country is kind of how they place it. Anyhow,
let me pitch you this one. EEOC finalizes harassment guidelines. They haven't finalized or they haven't redone harassment guidelines in a long time, but they opened it up last year. 38,000 comments. They went through all the comments. And then they released guidelines or guidance for businesses. And they've got 2 docs that are really things that you should look at. But anyhow, so let me give you the title. EEOC finalized harassment guidelines addressing remote work, gender identity, a summary of key provisions. It's got an EEOC enforcement guideline of harassment in the workplace. EEOC.gov. I'm sure you're going to be able to find it. It's super easy. But the 2 documents is they do a summary of key provisions. It's probably a 2-minute read. Super easy, and it goes through and it breaks down exactly what is and what isn't harassment. And then they have a fact sheet, another document that's just for small business. Again, if you've got 12 employees, maybe you're not tracking these things. Here is what is and isn't, and exactly what to do.
And I
They've laid
believe
it out in bold letters.
different. It's different between enterprise versus small business.
Under 25 employees. Well, federally, under 25, under 50, and under 100, there's different things that kind of come to play. But harassment's harassment. Whether or not you have one employee or 100,000 employees, the definition of harassment, what I like about this document is what is and isn't harassment.
Yeah.
And that's both the good news and the bad news.
Yeah.
But go take a look at it. It's actually, because you don't have to read the whole bit, but definitely download those two documents so that you can, the key provisions document and the fact sheet, so that you could just kind of read it and go, okay, yeah, I get it. I understand the bit.
Yeah. Harassment. So, I mean, it's a weird thing for me because I feel harassed. I mean, like,
I'm harassing you all the time.
I was saying, like, I mean, yeah, if I'm sensitive and soft and I can't take it, I'm going to be a little upset.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Right? Like, is that harassment or is that joking? Right? There's, I get it, but
they take all of that gray matter,
make it black and white.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
So,
good for them.
So a while back, we covered a story where Google workers got axed for sitting in and doing whatever because they were against the project called Project Nimbus. It's a contract with Israel. It's a $1 billion contract. Well, now they've brought suit.
Yes, they did.
For wrongful termination, alleging that their termination violated the labor law. So I don't know the full details here. However, I kind of agree with Google on this, and they said this is a very clear, I'm going to read it. It says, this is a very clear case of employees disrupting and occupying workspaces and making other employees feel threatened and unsafe.
Right.
I'm all about free speech and protest and all that other stuff. But the same thing that happened with these at the universities recently.
Yeah. When
you take over a location and you sit in and you cause chaos, this is a place of work. This isn't something that you got permits for and you can hold a protest somewhere or a rally. Like, you literally just sat in the office and said, that's it. No one's working today. And that's not how life works. So I think
it'll be interesting to see how the NLRB rules on this.
They're probably going to rule in favor of the employees.
No, I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. I mean, even though it's a more liberal NLRB than when you have a Republican president, it's still a clear. Their contracts, their employee contracts, are pretty bulletproof. And so it's going to stay in there. It's going to say language in it. Google's not stupid. It's going to say language in there.
Yeah.
You just can't. You can't. No, whatever your political views. You can't interrupt work. Sorry.
No, you can't. No.
So
it's like these people that go in the middle of a highway and then they get hit by a car and they're suing because they got hit by a car and they actually bring charges against the driver. Stay the fuck out of the highway. Protest on the side.
Texas.
Jesus God.
Have all the signs you want on the side. And again, if they would have been a protest, and you know what? I don't mind protesting at all, quite frankly.
No.
If that's your bid, go. I've never held a sign or been at a protest, so I don't really firsthand know what that's about. However, I respect the right for people to protest.
Right.
But sitting in is again, if you're out in the parking lot and you're protesting, good, fair. Do you?
I'm going to sit in my office and I'm going to stop work here.
Yeah, exactly. That's called a nap. All right, now, Ryan, what do you know about the Crown Act?
Crown Royal? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I wish.
I know nothing.
All right, so Crown. This is actually really fascinating and it's important. Creating a respectful and open world for natural hair. the C, the R, the O, the W, and the N. So creating respectful, open, world, natural hair. This is a bit that's come up in Congress. It got killed in the Senate, but states adopted it. So the Crown Act was created in 2019 by Dove and the Crown Coalition. You can go to thecrownact.com and learn more about it. In partnership with a Senator, Holly Mitchell from California, to ensure protection against discrimination based on race-based hairstyles, and by extending statutory protection to hair texture, protective styles such as braids, locks, twists, knots in the workplace and schools. So here's the deal. I've had almost every hairstyle one can have with
And
my
color.
hair and color. I've done everything.
You've had frostings. You've had
name it. Seriously, there's like no two pictures of me the same. Got it. For me, it's you wear your hair the way you want to wear your hair. Like I am totally comfortable.
Why is this a thing?
It is a thing because especially for people of color, specifically African Americans, within that, the hairstyles with like if you do cornrows or if you got dreads, if you got whatever, they're dealing with and have dealt with bias.
Right.
Hiring bias, promotion bias, all kinds of bias. And so they basically said, you know what? Hair shouldn't be a thing.
No.
And so 24 states. So remember, the Senate killed this twice. They've killed this thing. The Congress has passed it twice. Senate has killed it twice. But what I found great about it is 24 states have enacted the Crown Act.
Right.
Just wear your hair the way you want to. Just get the work done. That's I think most people. But again, man, people are. I was watching Cat Williams' special last night on Netflix.
Problem number 1 through 5.
Dude, he is so off the. I mean, I love him.
I'm exhausted when you just said that.
No. But he said this thing. He said, if in 2024 you're a racist, cavemen are making fun of you because you're so stupid. Yeah. This is one of those things. Like when I brought up the Crown Act, you're like, well, why is this a thing? Yeah. Because there's still people out there that are racist.
Yeah. None of that. I mean, none of that makes any sense to me. It's just stupid. It's like tattoos. Like if you had a tattoo, or you had to be a tattoo artist or a restaurant worker or a constructor. Come on, it's a tattoo.
I don't even care. I don't even care about tattoos on faces. I used to kind of like, well, isn't that going to kind of rule some of your like job opportunities out in the future? And then I finally got over it and went, you know what? No, I don't care.
The face is not for me. However, I will say this. When I see people, especially, so there's a few older people at the gym, older as in like in their 70s, like you can tell. Half sleeves, tattoos on their neck. I'm just like, that is awesome. Like, it does not wrinkle, maybe at some point. If it were me, I'd have, like, it'd be sagging. Like, at some point, I know it.
Right.
That's why I don't get them. Although I get one, I'd have an entire body full.
100%.
I know for
100%.
sure. Anyway, whatever, man.
Crown
I don't
Act.
get it. So, Crown Act will have to keep up on it, I guess. For the stupid people in the world. All right. So, the final rule on the non-compete ban goes into play September 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Unless this federal judge gets their way. They feel that the FTC is overreaching and they do not have the authority to remove this ban across the board.
And that's the Chamber of Commerce is the ones that are fighting it, which is weird to me on some level. But
they are. Again, this goes back to you need to put a non-compete on a pizza maker, right? Like we had that conversation, and that's what this is. It's like, I mean, obviously, larger businesses can be part of the chamber, local community stuff that. But it's just if I know it's more difficult than this, but following up on the stupidity of the Crown Act, why can't you just treat employees good and trust that they're going to like you back.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't really see it any more difficult than that, unless, of course, you're at a Fortune 100, Fortune 500, you're a senior VP, and that you have the
IP.
recipe to Coke something.
Right.
Okay, different, right? You don't need to
Fair.
share the 11 ingredients of KFC. Got it. Everything else,
Herbs
move
and
on.
spices. Yes.
Herbs and spices. Yeah, not ingredients. Sorry, that's Papa
No
John's.
worries. So, Andreessen Horowitz, investor, says half of Google's white-collar staff probably do no real work.
Wait, say that again.
When I read this article is so genius. So Andreessen Horowitz, great investor. Mark Andreessen helped build the internet, helped at least built one of the first browsers, and he's been an investor for 110 years since. One of the investors, not him, but one of the investors, says that half of Google's white-collar staff probably do no real work. And got to read this article. I hate saying this because I hate when people ask me to read books and shit, but it's on businessinsider.com. Go there. They recently did a story on Workday that is also relatively funny because it starts off with "I hate Workday" or "Everyone hates Workday," which is a funny bit.
Yeah.
And I don't think everyone hates Workday, but the article goes and does a lot of things.
This damning article.
It was pretty harsh. So one of the quotes from this article: if you want to work from home, like 4 days of work in your pajamas, go to work for Facebook. That's a quote. That's a direct quote. And what they're doing is actually really savvy.
When your investors, customers, and workers demand more from your business, make it happen with SAP. The AI-powered capabilities of SAP can help you streamline costs, connect with new suppliers, and manage payroll, even when your business is being pulled in different directions. To deliver a quality product at a fair price while paying your people what they're worth too, so your business can stay unfazed. Learn more at sap.com/uncertainty.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This article is they're attacking employee bloat. Like these tech firings that you're seeing, they're not already firings. These people aren't doing anything.
They're not doing work.
They hired on a bunch of extra people. They don't need them. They can't actually, they're not doing work is the claim.
Right.
From VCs, and it's not just Andreessen Horowitz, by the way. It's a lot of VCs are saying the same thing. They're kind of the beat from the same drum is they didn't need to overhire. They're not really doing work. So these layoffs are false layoffs. Yes, people are being laid off, but they weren't working.
They shouldn't have been hired in the first place.
They shouldn't have been hired in the first place.
Yeah. Do you think they were hiring this way to eat up the talent so competitors wouldn't get them and
100%.
Let's put them on payroll?
100%.
It's the Office Space story. I'm in a basement with staplers.
That's right. Well, yeah. I'm going to draft. Dallas has a draft right before Philly, and we know that you want, let's say, a defensive back. I think your defense is actually pretty good. But let's say we know you want. We're gonna draft the best defensive back on the board, just so you can't have them.
Problem is that Jerry Jones and Dallas wouldn't be able to discern who the best back is.
I don't disagree.
Let's just call it what it is.
But follow this trend of VCs and PEs actually attacking employee bloat, because I actually think it's it's a good story.
Yeah, we should do a show just on employee bloat. I think there's a lot there. All right, Title VII. So for those of you who do not know what Title VII is, it protects you, the employee and applicants, from discrimination around, from obviously basic stuff, right? Race, color, sex, religion, national origin, all of the above. Anyway, so Title VII is back in the news again. I feel like it's in the news a lot. Maybe just because we're looking at this a lot. But so there was a former ticket agent at an aviation company based in Maine was given the approval to move forward with her discrimination claim against the company, which she claims that she was fired for allegedly fired because the company's because of the company's stereotype belief that she would leave the company if her partner quit or was let go. So they didn't want to lose 2 for 1. So that's what she's claiming. Now, there's another example of this recently where Walmart, now not a huge sum of money, but Walmart paid out $60,000 to settle an EEOC claim, alleging that it refused to promote a female employee because she had a young family at home and didn't feel she could dedicate the time to the role.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of examples of this, that are out there in the market right now.
Yeah, and I could see retailers, Walmart in this case, but retailers, especially at a certain level, let's say the assistant manager level or maybe even department manager level, they work a lot.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that they work a lot. If you have a young family or your family or you have no family, shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be even something in the equation. So again, that's silly that they wouldn't promote someone if they're good. Again, getting back to if you're a great associate or employee and you can do the job, whether or not you have a young family, you'll adjust.
Yeah,
You'll adjust.
I don't look at the Walmart one as actually happening or not. I shouldn't say that.
No, it definitely happens. It definitely happens.
Oh, well, I know it happens, but $60,000 is them just saying, here, take the money, go away. We don't want to deal with this. Now, if it came back and the woman was paid $750,000,
no,
that'd be a little different. But $60,000 just means they didn't even pay attention to this.
It's usually for retailers. It's usually the lower assistant manager, department manager, maybe co-director roles where you put in the hours.
Right. All right.
So tech teaming, the thing that you brought up earlier about companies hiring new people, new executives, Vonk, which is in kind of the multi-posting programmatic space, appoints Ritu Mohanka, former executive at IBM and LinkedIn, as CEO. As at Vonk, VONQ.com. Go take a look at it. But what I loved about this particular press release is, career highlights. Senior Vice President of Europe, IBM Smarter Workforce, VP in Strategy, Business Development, EMEA, LinkedIn Learning and Engagement, senior roles at Connexa and Glint. So she's bringing a bunch of experience to Vonk as their CEO. I don't know if you crisscrossed her when you were at Connexa. Does her name?
I wasn't that important.
Yeah. Well, just her name, if it seems familiar. She might have been in Europe, so you might not have ever seen her.
Yeah.
But anyhow, just piggybacking some of the things that you already listed, these companies are making different bets with executives, which is fascinating.
Right. Yes. All right. So ChatGPT partners with Stack Overflow. This was really interesting to me, this one. I like where this is going. I know people look at ChatGPT as a novelty,
right?
At least today, but it actually is a business, and it is being used across enterprises, not just to type in silly things online. So anyhow, ChatGPT is now learning how to code, and they're leveraging the open API with Stack Overflow to do this.
Right.
So I think this is where recruiting is getting smarter, right? So ChatGPT will, in theory, be able to assess a candidate's ability to code or to solve a specific set of coding challenges. So think whiteboarding a problem in an interview, right? Now ChatGPT is going to be able to go in, and recruiting or HR or whoever's doing the interviewing will be able to go in and assess what the coding is and pick out specific things that it's doing or didn't do. What I like about the examples that I've kind of been thinking about in my head, I like them probably because I came up with the idea, but I still think they're novel, is that recruiters don't need to be tech recruiters to be a tech recruiter.
Agreed.
Going to get hate there, right? However, I fully believe that. I don't need to be a tech professional or a tech expert to be a tech recruiter, especially now. If I'm able to take your coding, right, your assessment, and throw that into a ChatGPT or any other tool, there's a lot of tools that do this, and it doesn't just say, yes, this is verified, it's good. It says, this is really good. However, look at this, and this is what this means. Here are the questions to follow up with. Not only that, because it's working off of, it can also work off of your company data, projects you're working, tech that you're using, other, top coders in your company can put stuff, you can have them put stuff in, et cetera, et cetera. It can now say, well, William, he's, we'll call him mid-tier developer.
Right.
However, he will work very well with this group over here because these three are doing this and he can help do this. So now it can help with the placement and help the recruiter and the hiring manager see, maybe not so fantastic for this role. I don't like his coding skills, but he's going to fit in over here. And now they can start to assess and look in different directions that way.
So two things come to mind for the audience. Stack Overflow, like GitHub, on the back end of both those communities, technical communities, is a recruiting solution. Yes. So if you didn't know, now you know that basically you can run job ads and you can hire talent in those communities. The other thing that I'd augment of what you've said is it is about their coding and improving their coding. It's also the prompting that they're going to learn.
Right.
So in ChatGPT, to prompt code to do something that you want, you're going to actually learn, and they'll learn who's good at prompt engineering.
Right.
So you could be, you don't have to be, I'll say something that people won't like. I don't think you have to be a good coder. I think you have to be an excellent prompt engineer to code. So
it'll get there 100%.
It'll get there. So, but the thing is they're learning both. They'll be learning both sides of who's doing the coding from fresh or from the jump, and then people that are also augmenting that with ChatGPT, coding that comes from there. They're going to be able to see all that, which I think is great for recruiters. I think your point is awesome.
As always.
So let's do the acquisitions. We got a couple of these, 3 of these to run through real quick. Echo 360 acquires Inkling. And the reason this came up on my radar, Inkling, is Jeff Carr, who's been in our industry for 100 years. He was president and CEO of Inkling, and just a great guy. And basically learning engagement, which is the Echo 360, buys digital training. Because so these things kind of make sense for everyone. It's a win-win. But I don't trust M&A, which doesn't disclose terms. So whenever you see something terms weren't disclosed, personally, I've never trusted that, and I don't trust it now. But I'm glad Inkling had an exit, and it looks like it's going to be something good for the customers of Echo 360. So good for them. Great acquisition.
All right. DocuSign acquires AI-powered contract management firm Lexion. Is that how you say it? Lexion. Yep. I think this is a natural evolution for DocuSign. Makes sense to bring a company in that was killing it already in this space instead of going down the path of every ATS in the world and building their own solution. So kudos to them for recognizing that. So everyone knows DocuSign. A lot of companies, big companies, a lot of companies use DocuSign. Okay?
Right.
We use. So they've expanded into sales and HR. DocuSign has, obviously.
Right.
They do employment contracts, a lot of legal contracts, all of the stuff that you could imagine DocuSign doing is what they do. Now, with Lexion, they are going to be able to go into those documents and help you not have to read the fine print, which you're not going to read anyway, right? Let's just be honest. And so now Lexion or DocuSign, with the acquisition, will be attached to all of your documents, and you will be able to summarize the documents, pull out information in a document, search very specific things in a document, ask it questions. So think, I don't know about certain things. I don't even know what it's called in the legal document. I can just say, what is my responsibility for this?
Right.
Based on what it's reading, it will then say or give you, things to be concerned about, what risk you potentially might have.
Right.
Which I think is fantastic because nobody signs these things. And if a company is sending out an employment agreement to an individual, they just want a job. And maybe they read the first couple things, but let's be real, they go down the salary, they go down to their benefits, they sign, send it. Yeah, honey, look, I got a new job. We're good to go. Now this is going to be able to come back to them and say, this is potential risk. Here's pros, here's cons.
For 15 years.
Yeah. Watch yourself, right? I like it. I think we're going to see this across a lot of these companies. And I think this goes to our conversations around transparencies. Organizations are not going to start sending employment contracts and offer letters and saying, look at these 5 potential risks. Look at these really good things. Look at these bad things. No. Right.
A third party's got to do that.
Exactly. And whether that comes from the company, which I would hope that it would, but it's not.
No.
This allows them to. Even if the company is not using DocuSign, people who are applying for jobs, candidates, or people getting ready to accept employment offers should have access to a third-party tool like this to run through it.
Love it.
So, yep.
All right. FiscalSoft, acquired by Black Mountain Software. Black Mountain Software is software for small to medium-sized local governments. And FiscalSoft is payroll and HR management for small to medium-sized local governments. We don't talk about government HR tech for some reason. But it's an industry just like retail, manufacturing, financial service, etc. So this is a win-win for both. FiscalSoft, now they get to kind of take their products and put them inside Black Mountain. Good for everybody. They probably have different local governments that they serve, so they can cross-sell. I think it's a great acquisition. In looking at both websites, Black Mountain and FiscalSoft, they look like websites that were built in 1998. So that's kind of a weird side note, but
like they were actually built in 1998, or they're just shitty websites.
In fact, I found this on FiscalSoft, FiscalSoft.com. Go and look at their website right now. Just go and look at FiscalSoft.com, and I swear you're going to go, is it 1990?
Holy shit. Is this front page? This is literally built on front page. You got to be kidding me. This is like their site.
That's your site. Not making fun of FiscalSoft nor Black Mountain Software. It's a great acquisition. And they're probably catering to their audience. They don't need a new fancy website with videos and AI and a bot asking them questions.
Sure.
They need something that looks like it was built front page or iframe.
It literally does. And they even have a weather app I'm looking at now.
I wasn't joking. I wasn't joking. You're like, oh no, surely it's a modern. Nope.
Nope. Yeah. No. Good for them.
Great acquisition. Yes, congratulations.
All right, I've got some really. I don't know. I'll put it out there. It's research. I don't know what you're gonna say about it. I'm gonna put it out there because I think it's.
I'm gonna love it.
I think it's. All right. Let me just stop talking. I'm gonna put it out.
Yeah. Do that.
All right. I don't like surveys, right? I hate taking surveys. I hate them. And I don't like companies that sell survey data that's not real.
Right.
Okay, that's my preface the whole thing there. So FairGen came across this. FairGen boosts, in air quotes, survey results using synthetic data and AI generated responses. So yeah, so they've okay.
That's
So
just fraud, is what that
yeah,
is.
right. So not according to them. So not according to them. So synthetic data has been around, like use it
Yeah.
forever, right? Okay. So they've recently raised $5.5 million. So it could be, we could talk about this later too. They total $8 million in total funding. So someone believes in them a little bit. The challenge is that people don't like taking surveys, right? They run away from these things. FairGen, what they do is they train an AI model. They don't use LLMs. They train an AI model exclusively on your survey data. So let's say we're running a survey. We say business case is 500 people. We can only get 100 people. But we need to move forward and we need to publish and we need to get some stuff going. We take that, we give those 100 responses to FairGen. They model this, right? They model this survey data and they extrapolate from that what potential larger group would say, how they would answer your survey. They feel that this is mathematically guaranteed to be accurate because of their AI behind it. I don't doubt that it would be accurate. Let me just start there. I believe
I definitely would be. I'm gonna go to the other side. It's absolutely inaccurate.
Yeah. Why?
And I'll tell you why it's absolutely inaccurate. Because there's only a subsection of the population that will actually perform a survey, that will conduct complete a survey. So of the people that do conduct, you've now taken data from just that small subset and then extrapolated it out, which means that you haven't covered everybody.
But that's what they're promising. They're just saying, based on your data.
How can they do that? How can they do that?
This is what we're doing. This is kind of like the exit polls, right? And they say,
exactly.
And it's like, so and so's this and that. I'm like, man, you literally asked 3 questions to 5 people.
Right.
Like, how are you doing this? This is what this is with AI.
They can't extrapolate if somebody doesn't answer. If they haven't, if people, like, I have never filled out a survey.
Right.
So how the hell would they get to what I believe or feel about something? They wouldn't. I don't give a shit what they say, because they can't.
Let's say we did a survey and we had business case was 500. We hit 500.
Well, business statistically valid, they call it business statistically valid, is 100 completed surveys. So the bar is really low.
Yeah, let's just say we did 500.
Okay.
And we got the 500. The research and survey that we put out is based on those 500. But those are people that answered.
That's right.
Right? The question.
Who has time to answer a survey? It's Groucho Marx.
Yeah, so what they're saying is 100 people do this. We can predict what the other 400 would say based off of these 100. But who are the people? Who are the other 400? I don't. Whatever. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Whatever. I don't know. I click through to the link, read it. We'll drop it in the notes. They're going to be a $90 billion acquisition at some point, and I'm egg on my face.
100%. Groucho Marx 101. I refuse to join any club that would have me as a member. Same thing with surveys.
Yeah.
I refuse.
I would probably refuse that club as well if you were joining the club. No, that's not true. That's not true. Go ahead.
All right. So the state of generative AI in the enterprise by Deloitte. Fantastic survey. So go to Deloitte.com.
Speaking of surveys.
Yeah. Well, these actually have like 5,000 respondents, so they're a little bit different. And they're not extrapolating and using it.
They extrapolated it for 50,000, so it's all good.
Yeah, sure. So the survey itself, so one of the things I think is important for practitioners, for all of us, is to figure out how people are actually using AI and specifically generative AI in the enterprise. And best quote ever, it's like on the second page of the survey, the report. We're in the first inning of a 1,000-inning game, and there's much to be figured out as a chief analytics officer for a financial services firm. So just that idea that, hey, listen, if anybody's, if anyone's carving stuff in marble, they probably should. This stuff is so fluid. What we're talking about today, we're not going to be talking about next year at all. So Deloitte conducts excellent research. Go check it out. We need to understand where AI and generative AI kind of hits the enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that can give us any kind of guidance there is important research to keep up with.
Cool.
Next, and that was at Deloitte.com. All right. The annual HR Practices in Ireland survey helps you keep a finger on the pulse of what's happening in the profession in Ireland. Why is this research important? So this is at CIPD.org. Now, CIPD, Ryan, if I said CIPD, what is that to you?
Oh, I went to COPD or whatever that's called.
What was that movie?
I was still thinking of the title. I'm like, the annual HR Practices in Ireland survey helps you keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in Ireland.
Did you almost do it Did you almost do an Irish accent when you did that?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good, but it's kind of a
CIPD,
weird title.
Yeah. But so don't worry about the title. CIPD is essentially like SHRM. It's an organization for the UK. They have conferences and research and all that type of stuff. And so CIPD, I hate to compare them to SHRM because they're a little bit different, but think of them as an association for HRDs, HR folks, recruiters, etc. Now, what I like about this particular report is it outlines the problems, like what they surveyed a bunch of people and they said, okay, what's keeping you up at night? List of things. Great. That happens in a lot of research, but what's different about this one is it offers up recommendations. So here's, talent retention. So that's a problem that's keeping you up at night in Ireland. Okay, here's the 4 or 5, 10 things that you should do to fix that problem. And so if you do nothing but just go and download the report to review the recommendations, it's worth it. Because this is actually one of those surveys where they outline what's wrong or what's keeping people up at night and that type of stuff, but it also then lays heavy into the recommendations, and I love research that does that. So go take a look at it.
Well,
there you go.
And enjoy the reading. Okay.
There you go.
Guess what time it is?
It's time to talk about Burson.
It's time to reinvent talent acquisition. That is correct. So Burson and AMS put out a report. It's a good report. So they interviewed more than 130 HR executives, and I'll give you some stats, just to kind of wet the whistle here. So 32% are. So this was where they at in the organization. What is their role? What are they doing? How they included, etc. Excuse me. 32% of these executives said that they were involved in strategic workforce planning. 42% believe that their company has no workforce plan at all.
That's a low number. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably higher.
That's low.
If they use FairGen, they'd be at 74%. Just be honest.
Nice.
FairGen. I'm just gonna get a tattoo that says, we'll get a shirt. I don't want it to be permanent, not unless they're gonna give us some money on that massive acquisition we're about to have. FairGen results, whatever. So 46% said they're running around without a head, and when the layoffs hit, they lose their recruiters first. So nothing we didn't know. I think this is just solid research to give you some comfort or discomfort in where we are in talent acquisition. But the outcome here is that urgency often trumps strategic planning. So they're leading to rushed hires, which is we know this, but it's always helpful to kind of see it in writing that we're really focused on what is important right at this moment and not so much on strategy. But that's leading to
Don't
a lot
disagree.
of hires without the proper skill set or consideration for, the specialty there, the role. So
I
it's,
think
a
it's,
decent
for
report.
me, first of all, love Burson and AMS. I think it's, when we say reinventing talent acquisition, it's reinventing where the human is in talent acquisition. And in this particular case, matching up where the human is where the strategy is. And workforce planning, it's been one of those deals for years that companies talk about workforce planning but do a really poor job. And
that's going to change now.
It's got to. You've got to change it.
And with technology, there's no reason for it not to.
100%.
With all these platforms and solutions that are on the market now, leveraging AI, etc., there was an understanding. You could justify, hey, we don't have a fucking plan.
Right.
Yeah, because you've got 1 million fires to put out and you're down 50 people. Get it.
Yep.
In that same situation, there is solutions now on the market that can handle that for you and take that off your plate. So now there's no excuse.
Love it. Workers who jumped ship during COVID are now regretting it. Conference Board Job Satisfaction Survey says. So Conference Board, you'd know the Conference Board by Consumer Price Index. You'd know them because they've been studying it for 580 years. They're really, really good at it. And so if you go to conference-board.org, they've got all kinds of cool shit. They've been studying HR for a long time, strategic HR, and they do a job satisfaction survey every year. They're probably one of the best at doing research like this. So when they let out research, dig into it because it's cool. So essentially, go read the report for yourself. But one of the things with this one is it emphasizes culture eats wages for breakfast. So wages are important to employees and to candidates, but it's not as much as culture. And I think that for me, I think this is a combination of younger generations at work, different priorities, maybe of a little COVID hangover, but it's worth watching. It's worth watching. They do this particular survey every year, so it's worth watching the trends to see where this goes next year. And so look at Conference Board. In fact, I've got a Good Footed Nuts of research there. So if you reach out to me, I can plug you into her because she's wonderful, and they just do great research. So there you go.
Very good.
All right, the gig is up in a good way. The share of Bank of America customers who received income from gig platforms through direct deposits or debit cards was above 3.8% in March 2024, surpassing the previous mark of early 2022. Now, we at Work Defined are Bank of America customers. We love it.
You want to give the account number too?
Oh hell yeah! I'll give you the routing number so I could just go ahead and deposit some shit. We're good. No, but the institute. So institute.bankofamerica.com. They have a bit for it's called Consumer Morsel, and it's really, really cool. And so they put out these things, these little nuggets. So in this particular one, what I found fascinating is banks have insight into gig platforms paying how much they're paying and who they're paying. So like we've been talking about gig platforms for a couple of years now, right? Now these guys, banks, in this case, Bank of America, they have access to the other side. So like we could say our favorite, we use Fiverr. We've used Fiverr before. Somebody gets paid, they're on an EFT or they're on a transaction that goes to a bank. They know how much money is being transferred to those people from those platforms, which blew my mind. I don't know why it did, because I just didn't think about it. I just didn't think like, okay, where the money goes, like I could see, so-and-so has 5 stars. They've, $250,000, all that type of stuff. But I didn't think about where the $250,000 went and who keeps track of that. So I think banks, if we track it, we can follow the money. Banks can help us understand gig work. So we can reverse engineer gig work and the platforms of gig work and find out what gig platforms are actually making an impact based on how much money is being transferred from those platforms to banks. So check this out at institutebankofamerica.com. And again, they have different categories, but this was under consumer morsel, gig economy. And I think you'll find it fascinating, or hope to find it fascinating, because I think it just gave me a different lens in which to look at gig work. Boop. Ryan?
Oh, I was on mute. Sorry. What I was saying was, if they want to drop that $250K in my account,
I know, right?
I'm all good. All right. So let's talk some funding. There's a couple of fundings we should talk about this week.
We do. We got that far.
So Legion secures $50 million for growth investment. Yeah, it is. That's a good number. So Legion's an hourly play. They do. They will use the funding to drive workforce management, accelerate their global expansion. So we're seeing it now, and I think we're going to continue to see this. A number of hourly workers are skyrocketing. Right. It's just what it is. But the experience that they go through during the hiring process is the same. Sometimes it just gets worse because there's less people running the process and they haven't done anything to evolve it. So anyhow, lots of lack of communication, poor selection process, all of that results in ultimately what comes out to be just a really crappy, subpar onboarding experience, making an unhappy employee who then leaves for an additional 50 cents to the next guy. And I think this is an important play. I think this is something that we could talk about for a long time. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, Legion's a sleeping giant. $50 million growth capital. This is big. This is basically the PE or VC, I think, in this particular firm case, basically said, you know what, you've got it right. Now you just need some capital to go and expand. But it's validation on a lot of levels when somebody gives you $50 million for growth capital, that you've got your model right. You just need more money to get it to more places.
Right.
I love it. I think it's good. We've talked to Legion before and love what they do. And so they've got some great customers too.
Yep.
So good for them. Change Engine. Have you ever heard of Change Engine? Do you know?
I have, yes.
Okay, so Change Engine, for the audience that is both watching and listening, I meant to correct you at the beginning of that, is
what did I say?
Canva,
watching?
Listening. Canva meets HubSpot for the employee experience. So they closed a $10 million Series A. That's a hefty Series A. That's a good Series A. Now, this is on prweb.com. It's a press release, so you can go read more about that. But I love anything that makes the employee experience better. So whatever they're doing, Change Engine, whatever they're doing to make EX better is good for everyone, because great employee experience equals retention. So I like that they were validated with I think a really nice Series A, and again, anything that makes the EX better, employee experience better, I think it's a win for everybody. So good for them.
Nice. Good for them. Proud of these guys. All right, Altera. They take in $9 million, and this is, I like this because it justifies it lends credibility to my thought about co-pilots, right? I really believe we're all going to have co-pilots, we're all going to have assistants, et cetera, right? We've talked about this,
right?
But this is where Altera is looking into the future here. they're moving past co-pilots and getting people to assistants. So human-like workers. We've talked about a story like this previously where we say robot, but it's literally just like a cute little toy that acts as a robot to help you do things, or a digital employee that's on a screen and you see their face, but you can interact with, and they help you with booking and calendaring, answering calls, et cetera, et cetera. This is getting us closer to that. So the goal here is to have human-like workers in the workplace with you as your assistant. So maybe there's one of these robots or whatever they want to call them for a group of people, and they're doing whatever they want them to do at that point, whatever they're going to wind up doing. But this is we all the name Eric Schmidt, right? So he led the round. He believes in this, and I do too. I think this is interesting. You can find this really anywhere. Just Google Altera and it'll pop up. It's getting a lot of play right now.
So, first of all, Eric Schmidt's involved. It's going to win.
Right.
Hard stop.
I thought you had more. I thought you had some thoughts on this one. Sorry.
No, that's what hard stop means.
Yeah.
Hard stop. All right. Trio Mix. So TRIOMICS raises $15 million to automate oncology workflows with Gen AI powered platform. This was at newsramp.com, so go ahead and take a look at it there if you want more on the story. But it really got me. I don't really care about oncology. I don't really care about money they raise or any of that shit. But it got me to think about two things, words that we should start to key in on. Automate and workflows. So what that means is for me, I think this is why it's important. Note when you see or hear optimize, augment, automate workflows. That means to me less humans in those roles.
Yep.
Humans can be moved somewhere else to humanize that process, or they can be eliminated. So when we talk, and we've talked historically about FOBO, fear of being obsolete, it's real. And these are the types of, whilst not in our industry per se, this funding raised the question for me, whenever you see outside of our industry, you see technology that's automating workflows, that you should go ahead and kind of make that, do the math in your head. They're creating, first of all, it's efficiency, which is not a bad thing, but they're eliminating humans. And humans don't necessarily have to be fired. They can just be moved somewhere else. But my gut tells me that they won't do that, that they're just going to eliminate the humans from the process. So I don't hate the funding. I don't hate the industry. I don't hate any of that stuff. I just want us to kind of think about, okay, the little hairs on the back of your neck should go up when you see optimize, augment, automate workflows.
Yeah. I don't blame the companies for this. I think
not at all.
A lot of these companies are doing their part in doing what they're supposed to do. This is a business. They need to grow the company. And 100%. As they grow, these roles will evolve. So I think in the beginning, like in any change in time, there'll be a drop off, right? People are going to be affected. But then they're going to be back. They're going to come back into those different roles. So I think this is what we're seeing. So I don't hate the country, the company for this. So all right. So I got one final funding. So Class is the brainchild of the previous founder of a company called Blackboard, which was an online organizational tool. So this time he has a Zoom add-on called Class. So total funding to date, $164 million. Lots of money. So Class helps. It's an ed tech play. They help teachers with assignments, with notes, attendance, quizzes, taking tests, communicating with students virtually, etc. They've moved into business, sales and business. So here's the relevant story for remote workers, for hybrid workers in HR. They have what they're calling now pro features. So pro features lets everyone edit. Now this is I want you to kind of listen to this, because when I read it, I originally thought, why? Like, I can do this on my own. I don't need. Then I thought, well, yeah, okay, you have a solution. It's all in one. It's much easier. It's compliant, etc. So the Pro features lets everyone edit a document in, say, Microsoft Office or Google Doc. So you're on the Zoom call. Everybody gets access.
It's collaboration.
It's collaboration, right?
Yep.
So you can brainstorm on the whiteboard. You can edit code together in Visual Studio. The new expansion that they've just done now transcribes the meeting, as well as captures all of the documents and files that you were editing.
Cool.
Yeah, this is what I like, in the actual meeting. So if I pulled up 3 different websites, if I screen shared and I did a demo, it's snapshotting that along the way. And that becomes part of the notes. After the meeting, it can then go back and answer questions on everything that was discussed in the meeting, including the documents and the web pages that were shared.
Right.
So this is getting closer to true collaboration. That actually makes it kind of fun.
It does.
For remote workers, right? You're no longer like, William's going to share his screen and show the Google Doc. All right, everyone jump into Google Doc on your own machine and do your thing. It's now just up on the screen. It's on the whiteboard. Everyone's doing their thing, collaborating. But I like the post meeting. I like being able to go back and not just search the notes and have my action items, my to-dos. Now, barring it's got to be accurate. I like that it's actually able to then answer my questions. Hey, William, I know I have to do this. How is this relevant? Or what can I do when in my, whatever, to say the call to action was to reach out to somebody. When I reach out to William, what should I ask about concerning this specific topic? It's now going to go back into the notes and say, in your call with William, here are 4 things that were mentioned during your call that you need to talk about. It's going to go back and remind me. It's going to make you stupider at some point, because you're not going to have to remember to do any of this. But I like it. He's got a lot of money behind it, and he's got a track record of making people happy here.
Don't bet against the founder of Blackboard. Period. Just like Eric Schmidt. You kind of look at, and this is true of the movie industry as well. A lot of actors look at who gets signed on. Right. And that's how they determine whether or not they'll do it. Some guys and gals don't even read the script. They're like, who signed on? DiCaprio and De Niro? Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Right.
I could be talking about hot dogs. I don't care. I want to be in a movie with those guys or gals. You know what I say? And I think this is one of those bits. Previous founder of Blackboard.
Yeah.
Yep. Took something from 0 to nothing, or nothing to.
And that was a long time ago.
Yep.
That was a long time ago. So he's, he does his thing.
Back.
So,
Yeah. All right. Last. There you go. Last funding that we have is opmed.ai. I'm going to follow the trend that I said just a second ago, which uses AI to optimize staffing for operating rooms, raises $15 million. This is at siliconangle.com, so you can go read a little bit more about that. So here's one of the bits. The healthcare industry faces a projected shortage of 3.2 million workers by 2026. By the way, that's only 2 years away, or maybe a year and a half away. This tech optimizes operating rooms. So when staffing happens for an operating room, we have a surgery that's going to happen. They're going to get a hip replacement. So that operating room needs X number of people to be staffed. This technology optimizes the staffing for that operating room. So think of it like this. It's scheduling on steroids. And so if you need 8 people in the room, you need an anesthetist, a nurse anesthetist, you need this, you need that. This is one of those deals. The healthcare industry they have both a labor shortage on one end, and on the other end, they have inefficiency in staffing. So this particular technology, opmed.ai, is just optimizing staffing for operating rooms. So imagine the opportunity of all the facets of things to be optimized staffing-wise for healthcare.
Yeah.
If this company raised $15 million just to optimize staffing for operating rooms,
Yeah.
there's clearly a market opportunity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's a good, I mean, again, anything you can do to, if we can lower healthcare costs, which I don't think we will, but if this does make us more efficient in operating rooms, then maybe that shortage in talent, we can at least understand that maybe it isn't as much of a shortage as we thought if we're optimized. So
right.
There you go.
All right.
That's all I got.
I think we're good for today.
Have we barfed?
We have, and some of these stories kind of make me feel like I did. Like I feel like I want to go take surveys now. I just want to answer all the surveys and then extrapolate my brain. Anyway,
dude, I did was it SAT? Yeah, no, it was a PSAT. I did a PSAT one time. I think it was in 7th grade, might have been in 8th, where all I did was do a design on the Scantron thing. So I didn't. I didn't look at the questions.
So many people listening to this don't even know what a Scantron is.
It's all right. It doesn't matter. So all I did was go A, B, C, D, D, C, B, A, B, C, D. I just drew a design on the Scantron, turned it in. I don't know what score I got. I didn't care.
I would call BS on most people, but
dude,
I kind of feel like you did that.
No, I did it.
All right, I think we're good for today. I'm going to get on with my day. Thank you all for listening. Subscribe, like us, see us. We will be traveling coming up soon. We'll be back out on the road, so that's awesome. If you see us out there, please. Yeah, it's awesome. Come on, it's good to get out of that house, get away from that virtual background. All right. On that note, we'll see y'all later.